Let this mark the end of the Cybertronian Wars as we march forward to a new age of peace and happiness. Till all are one!
Till all are one!
Go! Been so long, I don't even know how to start these anymore. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another review. So I got a chance to watch Transformers Rise of the Beast on Friday. I think it was June 6th? June 7th? I forgot. For those of you who don't know, I am a huge Transformers fan. I was born into it. My mom, being a single mother, she didn't really know what, and me being her first boy, or her only boy, she didn't know what to expect or what to put me into. So she brought me the very first she brought me the Transformers movie cartoon, and that changed my life forever. So I'm eternally grateful for that. So I'm a huge fan of Transformers. I never thought that I would see the day that they would make a Beast Wars movie, like live action movie. So I'm really glad I got to experience it. So the movie starts off with a character named Noah Diaz and his brother, his little brother, who has like some type of a disease in his hands. And so Noah Diaz is like trying to get like some work so he could like get money for his brother's medical bills and stuff like that. By all means, he's doing everything he can to pay the bills for his brother, which leads him to like the main story of like how he meets the Transformers. He goes and he gets into like some pretty bad ways to try to make the money. He tries to steal a car, and when he steals his car, I mean, behold, it's Mirage. At this point, Optimus Prime is contacting all the Autobots because there's this beam, which is our next character, our female character. I forgot what her name is, but she works in a museum. So she gets a sculpture of like a falcon, and in the falcon, like she's like trying to examine it and do all this stuff, and the falcon breaks. So there's this key, there's this like little like stone key that she finds, and when she like sees it, it shines a beam in the sky. Only the Transformers, like only all the Transformers can see this light in the sky, and it's showing, it's beaming up to Unicron, which I thought I'm so excited to see like how they're gonna go with Unicron like in the next two movies, because Unicron, if you've never seen the show or the movies, like Transformers the movie, the very old, the cartoon, Unicron, he's a planet that eats planets, and he does that in this movie, like he eats like one planet, I think it is, but yeah, in the cartoon he's just a beast. So I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with him. So yeah, the beam's lying in the sky. All the Transformers, so like pretty much like all the Autobots, the Maximals, and it's not the Predacons, but it's Scourge. It's like Unicron's like right hand man. So Scourge sees that, and his mission is to go collect this key so he can provide to Unicron. So Unicron could like travel across all universes so he could eat all the planets, pretty much, like so he could feed Unicron, his master. And of course, the Autobots and Maximals don't want to let this happen, so they get into this big ass fight, which leads like all the characters like all at once. Where they meet, Noah meets the female character. I keep on forgetting her. What's her name? Oh wow, I didn't know that. Liza played Arcee. It's a good casting. I didn't even realize that was her. She sounded like the original. It's pretty cool. Her name is Elena. Okay, yeah, Elena. So Elena is the museum girl who freaking like is the museum person who captures, like, who gets the key and then like beams the light, and like all shit goes to, like, everything goes to shit. So it's her fault. So pretty much like all like the Autobots get there and they're trying to get that key, so pretty much Optimus Prime's mission with this key is to get it so that they could go back to Cybertron. Like all the Autobots have been trapped on planet. All the Autobots have been trapped on Earth. So Optimus Prime's mission is to get this key so he could take all his his pretty much all his friends back to Cybertron. Once all the Autobots get there, Scourge ends up getting there too. They all get into this big brawl, but Scourge and his minions, like they're top tier, like they're part of Unicron, so they're top tier. So they just beat the shit out of like all the Autobots pretty much. And then a Maximal comes in. Airazor comes in. She helps out the Autobots to at least make Scourge retreat. But Scourge actually ends up getting the key. Like he gets a part of the key. He provides it to Unicron, but Unicron gets all mad, saying that this is only half of it. And at this point, Airazor doesn't know that she has other Maximals in Earth anymore. She thinks that she's the only one. Elena, being like part of the museum and knowing like all this like ancient stuff, she has a theory that the key is somewhere in Peru. So that's where the movie takes place. Like majority of the movie takes place after that. So they go to Peru, the Autobots, Airazor, they all go to Peru, and they all try to look for this key, and they end up bumping to the other Maximals where they've had the key and they've had it hidden for a while. So so pretty much Airazor meets up with her old pals and like Optimus and Optimus Primal. Like they get along right away because Optimus Primal looked up to Optimus Prime, and that's where he was named after. So he looked up to his idol and he was named after him. In this movie, Optimus Prime is kind of a dick. Like he's kind of an asshole in this movie. Like he once he meets Noah Diaz, like he's all mad that Mirage brought a human. When you see like Michael Bay's films, like he's like all about like like humans like deserve the rights or whatever and stuff like that. But yeah, like in this movie, it develops him to be part of that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like he's kind of a dick in this movie, and Optimus Prime was like Optimus Prime, and the other one, like that's his mentality. Like he's just so heroic, like just like a leader and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, like character development on Optimus. Scourge, he ends up possessing, like I would say possessing, like he ends up possessing Airazor, which she can't control it. So she's like trying to, she steals the key from like her people, like her team, like the Autobots and Maximals. She steals the key from her team. She provides it to Scourge, like unwillingly, like she's possessed by Scourge, and she starts to try to fight Optimus Primal, but she's fighting him, and it's like a sad scene, kind of like she's fighting him, but she knows it like consciously, and she's like saying like oh, just do it, like just like till all are one, like is what they say. And yeah, Optimus Primal doesn't want to do it, but he has to, so he kills Airazor, which sucks pretty much. Scourge has the key. They put it in this machine to summon Unicron, and Unicron's coming to Earth. So it's up to the Maximals and the Autobots to try to stop him. Big battle going on, but like it's super badass. Like this battle. Like I heard people complaining about it, like it was too cliche or whatever. But I mean, you go to a Transformers movie wanting to see like robots fight. Like you don't want to like, I don't know. Like I'm just a big action junkie pretty much. Like it's all about just like seeing stuff that looks cool. I mean, yeah, it's cool to have a story and stuff, but when it comes to like Transformers or like, I don't know, like Godzilla movies or like slasher films, like you don't go to see like a good story, kind of like you go to see like the action or the slashing and stuff, you know what I mean? So I don't know, like it did it for me. Like watching the Beast Wars come to life, it satisfied me. What kind of bothered me is that Rhinox and Cheetor didn't really have like talking lines. Like it's like Cheetor is kind of like the Bumblebee of the Maximals, and he was always like cocky and stuff in the show, which comes to my next point. Like I love the old cartoons, and then they came out with and then I grew into Beast Wars because it came out like in 1996. So by the time I was like 5 or 6, like that's when it was like all big. They already had like 2 or 3 seasons. So I watched like the Transformers movie, the cartoon, and then I watched Beast Wars, and I watched Armada. So like it's all like I've always been a fan of Transformers. So to see Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Rhinox, like all in in an action film, like it was so sick. Like I loved it so much, and it's just gonna continue. They're gonna make a trilogy of this, so I can't wait to see what that leads to. I mean, obviously it's gonna be Unicron, and he's gonna come back, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, this movie's already doing good in the box office, so it's just gonna increase like with the action and like the story. Like it's just gonna increase with the action. Like I just can't wait to see like what they come up with. They're all in this huge battle. Noah's trying to get the key too, like, but he's he just has like this like this gauntlet that Mirage provided him like from his body. So yeah, so Noah has his gauntlet, and he's gonna try to get the key, but Scourge is right there in front of him, and Mirage comes to try to protect him, but he's no match for Scourge. I mean, if Scourge beat the shit out of Optimus Prime, like there's not gonna be a match for him. So yeah, so Mirage, like he pretty much like gets torn up by Scourge, and Mirage is like on top of Noah, and he comes to life for like a second, and he transforms into like a suit for Noah, which I thought was super badass. And again, like going back, like I remember when the first trailer came out for this, and they showed like a glimpse of like Noah in the suit. I saw like in comments people were like complaining about it, saying that's dumb. Like why does this guy have a suit? But going back to Transformers the movie, they give, I think his name's Sam. But not Witwicky. It's like a Sam something, the little kid, and his dad actually. Like they both have suits, and they're not as cool. I mean, they're just pretty much there so they can protect them from like getting hurt, but they never really fought. But this one, like it had that element of him fighting back, which I thought was super dope. Like that was so sick to watch. So I had no complaints about it, and I don't think anybody really should, because it's pretty sick. Like you're fighting next to a Transformer, like that's dope. So pretty much like they end up getting the key back. Unicron goes away. They end up killing Scourge. Optimus Prime kills him, of course, like in brutal Optimus Prime fashion. Like he talks his shit and he fucking backs it up. And yeah, he kills Scourge, and what was he in? Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Like, but yeah, so pretty much they stop it. Unicron goes away. And yeah, they could just go back to like hiding and stuff. And this is where like I just fully tripped out. So they invite Noah to an interview, because like pretty much like his interviews, like he's trying to be like a security guard. Like I think that's what it is. Like throughout, like in the very beginning, when they first act, he's trying to be a security guard, but they just keep on denying him. And when everything's all done, he goes to his interview, and it's with this man, and like the man's all like kind of just like secret kind of, but like it's just like an awkward encounter, and he's out there interviewing Noah, and then he starts bringing up like stuff that happened like with the Autobots and the Maximals, and then Noah's just like tripping out. He's just like, well, how do you know this? Like how do you know this? And this guy, the interviewer, he slides him a card, and then he goes to like the wall, like there's just like a wall like behind him, and he's just like, he just tells him, it's just so cool like to see, like I can't believe we're gonna experience this. But he just goes to the wall, and he's like, we could use somebody with your abilities. And the wall like slides up, and there's like a whole facility, and like up to this point you don't know like what it is, because like it's like trucks and stuff, right? Like military vehicles, and you don't know what it is yet. I'm thinking that it's like the start of Sector 7, but like that's what my headspace was. Like I thought that it was Sector 7, and yeah, so that's what I thought it was. Like it was just gonna be like him going to Sector 7 and seeing Megatron and all this stuff, leading up to like the 2007 Transformers. But when the wall comes up and like you see the vehicles, like he like the guy just goes in the elevator, he just like leaves, And then Noah Diaz, he's just looking at the facility, and then he flips the card, and it says G.I. Joe. I was just, like, I was just mind blown, dude. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I haven't been that mind blown for a crossover since The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. When Tony Stark first came out, yeah, that's when like the whole MCU started. But I haven't been this mind blown since that time. Like, yeah, like in the Marvel movies, like it has like, oh, like this is gonna happen, but you kind of expect it now. So that's what I was leading up to. I thought that's what it was gonna be like. Oh, it's Sector 7. Like, that's cool and all that they're gonna show like him joining Sector 7, but I mean, whatever. But then when he flips that card and it says G.I. Joe, I was just like, I was like the one that like I'm not like a very loud person, I would say, kind of. Well, somewhat. I guess it just depends. But in the theater, when he flipped the card over and I read that, like I was like literally like I was like, holy shit, like what the fuck? Like I was not expecting that. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, the fucking G.I. Joe movies that happened before, like the first one was cool, especially that sequence where they have like those robotic suits and they're just like running through the city, like not knowing like how to control it. Like that was pretty cool though. And Snake Eyes was pretty dope. The second one sucked because The Rock, of course, infected the whole movie with The Rock. And like how he does with all franchises. But I still love The Rock. He's cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is gonna be like starting off like with that G.I. Joe movies, which I hope they don't. I hope they start off new, because like Duke is gonna be alive, not like in Rise of the Cobra, or no, the second one. I forgot what it was. I think it's Rise of the Cobra. No, it's not. The second G.I. Joe movie, like with The Rock, they kill off Duke just so The Rock could like shine or whatever. But I hope they start off like brand new and like stick to like the cartoons. Like that would be so dope. And I just hope they go that route. And we'll see how it plays out, because apparently like this is not a remake. Like this is a prequel to like Michael Bay's like Transformers, which is cool. But then I kind of want them to like be its own thing, you know, like because of how they look. Like they look like the old school like cartoon Transformers, but like, and don't get me wrong, like when it comes to like rating Transformers movies, I put the 2007 Michael Bay Transformers as number 1. Number 2, I put Dark Side of the Moon. And then number 3, I put Revenge of the Fallen. Then I put Bumblebee, and then I put this one. But no, I put this one and then Bumblebee. But that's how I would rank my 5, like my 5 Transformers movies. But yeah, like I love those movies, but I just hoped or wished that it would have been something new. But I don't know, like maybe, I mean, they freaking blew my mind with this one, so I don't know like what they would do leading up to that one, because it's in this movie, it's like 1994, I believe. So that happened in 2007, so it's like not that far away. So like they have that time frame to mess around and like with Unicron and stuff like that. So I mean, and with G.I. Joe of course coming in as a crossover, I thought that like this is not the first time. I remember in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's fucking hard to say. But I remember in the second one, that Out of the Shadows, I think it was called, the second Ninja Turtles movie. It's not really a crossover, but it's just like an Easter egg. Like when Michelangelo goes into like that street party, like that Halloween party that's going on, and you see like a guy dressed up as Bumblebee. So like I thought that was gonna lead up to like the Transformers exist, obviously, so people know about them, and I thought that was gonna be like some type of crossover, like they did back then. Like there's cartoons where the Turtles and Transformers are together, but there's even more like with G.I. Joe and Transformers. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, hopefully that's gonna be dope. I wonder who they're gonna cast like for G.I. Joe, or what's gonna happen, but I don't know. I'm just excited for it. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, if they're gonna team up with the Autobots so they could defeat Unicron, or oh dude, it's just like so many possibilities. Like it's so crazy. But overall, I mean, like I mentioned, I give it like I in my rankings, like I put it at number 4. So I did love it a lot. There is like stuff in there where I'm just like, oh come on, like I just want to see. I don't know. I really don't know. Like just the first three like hit differently. Like it was just like a different time, you know. So just those hit differently. The first one's OG. Like it's just like it's just my rankings, man. Like I'm just counting the live action as my 5. I'm not gonna count the cartoon, because if it was the cartoon, like that would be top tier. Like that would be number 1. But yeah, the first Transformers Michael Bay movie, that one's for sure number 1 in my live action list. And it just hit differently. Like it was just like a badass movie. So like this one's like really badass too. But I don't know. Like I just put it right there at number 4. I just put it right there at number 4. But rating wise, like for like the review or for the movie, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was a badass movie, like I said, but there is like stuff here and there where I'm just like, oh, like for example, with Unicron, his design was perfect. Like it's like a perfect design for Unicron. Thing is, his voice was like, it sounded kind of like Scourge in a way. Like they sounded like the same. It was too light for Unicron. Like Unicron has like a deep, like monstrous voice, and that's what I was expecting to hear, but nah, they didn't use it. But what I do hope is that they use the soundtrack, like the Unicron's theme song, like from the cartoon movie. Like I really hope they do use that, like sometime, like either the second one or the third one, like whenever they're gonna do it. Another thing is like the designs, like especially for Wheeljack. Like they always fuck up Wheeljack. Like I don't know what it is. Like he was in the Dark Side of the Moon too, and he is like the inventor or whatever. Like he is like the guy who invents shit, but they always make him look like a nerd. I mean, right? But they always make him look like a nerd. And Wheeljack is badass. Like he has like katanas and stuff, like in the cartoons. Like I don't know why they keep changing him. Like it's just so, like I don't know. That bugged me too. I think that's why I'm ranking it low. Like I number 4 for my live action for Transformers, and then a 7.5 like overall. But yeah, like he, like just the design for Wheeljack, and then the voice for Unicron. Also, like I know they brought Hot Rod. Like Hot Rod is in the Transformers the movie. I keep on bringing it up, but it's because it's just so badass, that movie. But yeah, they Hot Rod, like he becomes like pretty much like the leader, not by choice, but just by like showing up, you know, like just like showing out. So Hot Rod becomes a leader eventually, and they brought him in the live action. I think it was The Last Knight, which is like the last film from Michael Bay, the Transformers. That one's ranked like last. That one was something else. But yeah, like pretty much they brought in Hot Rod for that one, but I hated the way they brought him. Like he was like a Lamborghini or something. Like he was just like a all black car, and like he had like a British accent. Like I'm not hating on the British accent or whatever, but like Hot Rod is like a jock type of guy, and like I don't know, like he's just like a jock, and he's like a sports car. Like I mean, if he's gonna be a Lamborghini, at least like make him the colors like that he is, not just all black, you know. And like make it like custom too, like make it pimped out, like more like just like more like cooler looking. Like not to say that Lamborghinis aren't cool looking, but like just like more custom, you know. But yeah, like I'm waiting for the day where they bring Hot Rod like as an actual like set character, because if anything, Hot Rod was like the Bumblebee. Like he was like the main one, and he tried to help out Optimus, and it like when he was fighting Megatron and it didn't work out, and he touched the matrix of leadership. Sounds super nerdy saying it, but he did, and that's what made him like the next Prime, and he becomes Rodimus Prime, and like he's really dope. Like he's a badass in the movie. But I just hope they bring him like later on, like in the second movie or the third movie. Hopefully the second one, this next one coming. Hopefully they bring him in, and yeah, I mean that'd be so dope if they did, and upgrade Wheeljack's look because they made him like a hippie or whatever. Like they always fuck up Wheeljack. It just always makes me mad. I don't know why they do that. It's like messing up Optimus Prime's look, you know. Not a lot of people know Wheeljack, or it's like messing up like Shockwaves or like Soundwaves looks, you know. So I don't know. Like hopefully we'll see what happens, and hopefully if they bring the Decepticons, like I hope they bring them back with their OG look, like Megatron, like with that big ass black cannon on his side, Starscream looking like a G, like how he always did, like with the red and then white wings and stuff, and like how they did in Bumblebee. Like I don't know if you guys, like if you've seen Bumblebee, and they have that sequence like in the very beginning where RC's there and like and Soundwave and Shockwave and Starscream and Wheeljack, they made him good in that one. Like he was in there. Like that was the first design. Like he was like actually Wheeljack. I don't know why they took it away. And then same thing with Optimus too. Like Optimus looks super dope. And not to say he doesn't look dope in this one, but he just looked more original in that one. Like the more original character. So I don't know. Like I hope they update their looks and whatever. That's my biggest thing, just being like a huge fan. And I know whatever, like I know like Michael Bay's universe, like the first one, like all of them, I know it doesn't look like Optimus, but like in the cartoons, but I mean he still looks badass. And this one, if they're gonna try and make it look like an OG, like try your hardest, you know, and make it like how they did in Bumblebee. Like Bumblebee was perfect. Like, they had them like set perfectly. So I don't know why they just went backwards. And but I do want to talk about RC. Like RC is like she was badass. She apparently she played by Liza. Liza. I mean, I'm sure people know Liza from like Vine and stuff. Like that's how she came up, and that's pretty cool that she was casted as RC. Like she nailed it. Pete Davidson, he nailed Mirage. Like he perfect. Like Pete Davidson was like meant for Mirage. Like he did it so good. So I'm happy that he did Mirage justice. But yeah, so did Liza. Like RC's so dope. There's just one sequence where in the first fight, like she's doing like a cartwheel, like to get there faster, you know, like to get to like her enemy faster, and so she could dodge the bullets too. You don't, it doesn't focus on it, like you see her like barely like right there, like in the bottom of the screen, and I thought that was so dope. Like I never saw her do that like in the cartoons and stuff, so for them to like add that, like that was pretty cool. Like I'm glad, like it was like she's dope. But yeah, they all got down. I mean Bumblebee, of course, like Bumblebee, he's like that fool, like Bumblebee's reckless, so he's really cool. So I wonder, like I hope like when they bring in Hot Rod, like him and Bumblebee are gonna be like competition for like the top dog behind Optimus, you know. Mirage was not a top dog. Like he was there, like he's one of the Autobots and like there, you know, but he's not gonna outbeat Bumblebee, you know. Like Bumblebee's like second to Optimus Prime. So I hope when they bring back Hot Rod, or when they bring Hot Rod in, like they're gonna clash or whatever. But yeah, overall, again, 7.5. That was my biggest complaints, like the designs and stuff like that. Not seeing the Predacons. But if it wasn't for that G.I. Joe scene, like it probably been like ranked like 7, like go down like 5, like half a point. So it'd probably be like at 7. But because of the G.I. Joe, and I'm excited to see what happens, like 7.5 I would give it. But yeah, it's a good movie to watch overall. I mean, just go turn your brain off, just focus on the movie, and just like let it happen, you know, and just, that's not kind of weird. But yeah, just enjoy the movie, and yeah, I mean, it's a good movie to watch. It's fun. I'm gonna be reviewing The Flash later this week. I'm gonna go see it on Friday. So yeah, so I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for coming back and watching it. If you're new here, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Laters.
It's over.